Today is the day. If you haven't filed your taxes, you need to get on it because you just have a little over 12 hours to do so. This morning, Stephen Mullaby joining us again on the show to answer some of your questions. So Stephen, we're going to kind of do this rapid fire. You've been answering a lot of questions this morning, so let's jump right in and take a look at the first question we have here. Someone wrote in, my husband and I filed jointly. I submitted an extension request under my name. Do I need to do one under his name as well?
So according to the instructions for the filing and the extension, if you're filing married filing joint, you want to make sure you have both Social Security numbers on that extension form. So if she only did it for herself or himself, then you want to make sure that you file an extension for your spouse as well. So if they're not included on the one form, make sure that you file them in there as well.
All right, good point. All right, let's take a look at the second question here. What happens if I don't file my return or ask for an extension by midnight?
So we talked about this a little bit earlier. So if you owe tax, you have the failure to file penalty, which is 5% of the taxes that you owe. So if you owe if you owe $100,000, that's $5,000 of penalty. So always get the extension in. It's always better to pay it late than to not file.
And it just needs to be postmarked, right?
Correct. It's postmarked by today. Your extension still counts.
Okay, some good advice. All right, let's take a look at our final question this time around. I made a mistake on my return. What should I do?
So if you make a mistake, you can always amend your return depending on how large the mistake is. I often get this question quite a bit from clients. They'll receive a notice from the Internal Revenue Service for they forgot an interest statement. Sometimes the IRS will just send you a notice saying they're just adjusting your return, and that's perfectly fine. So depending on the size of the mistake, you may want to amend. Otherwise, the IRS will just send you a correction notice and they'll adjust your return accordingly.
There are so many nuances to this, Stephen. What would you recommend to people if they do need help?
If they do need help, obviously the IRS website's a great resource, but definitely going and talking to a tax preparer to at least get some of the ins and outs. Sometimes you don't have to pay for a lot of that advice, and especially if you have a very simple return, just like a W-2 or 1099s, you can actually use resources in your community to get those types of things done.
All right, Stephen, thanks so much for all your help this morning. Sure to appreciate it. And you can text the word tax to the number 509-448-2000. We will send a resource guide right to your phone.